There's a couple of laws that I love that I wanted to pick out for you. So to just mention a bit, because I think these are really, really interesting. So this one is Law 29, plan all the way to the end.
Right.
And I wanted to ask you how one actually does that. And I know you talk about in the book, which I want to say for people, but for today's conversation, I'd love to know, how do you plan to the end when sometimes it's really hard to know what's next and what the end is? And I think so many people today are, in jobs for less time. They're moving quicker. There's so many more opportunities, new technologies. What does it mean to plan to the end?
Well, it's a thought process. So as you point out well enough, that things come up that you can't foresee, circumstances, things change, and the ending that you plan for doesn't happen the way you want it to. That's fine. But to the degree that you go through a mental process and you think about the ending and you have a goal in mind, you're going to be much more effective in life. So when something comes up, you're planning to go here and it forces you that way, you're better prepared to take that circumstance and make it maybe veer a little closer to the point that you want, right? So the main point of that law is that we are all go around with these dreams and these thoughts and these plans that are so vague. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to direct a movie. I'm going to start a tech startup that's going to make billions of dollars, blah, blah, blah. And then we maybe go through a kind of half-hearted process. Yeah, my book's going to be about this. Yeah, my business will be like that, right? And then you don't really plan deeply enough. You don't think, because your plans are infected with wishes,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And to me, the kind of the model of that is the invasion of Iraq by all of these extremely prudent, strategic men like Dick Cheney, et cetera. They thought that we would be greeted as liberators with people with flowers in their hand. And then lo and behold, whoa, this nasty, nasty war in which hundreds of thousands of people are killed ensued. They didn't realize that their plans were infected with their dreams, with what I call the rosy scenario. So when you're going to go sell this movie that you want to, you're imagining that people already love it. You've already convinced yourself, but you don't realize that people are cold, they're indifferent. So if you plan to the end, you think about the goal, you think about the other people, you think about steps A, B, C, D, E to get there, you're more concrete. And then when things come up, as Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until you get hit in the face, right? Okay, you get hit in the face. Yeah, all right, I got to change my plan a little bit.
Yes.
You're able to adapt. But if you're not thinking clearly about the end, you're in deep, deep doo-doo.
Yes.
That book will never get written. Or if you do start it, no one's going to be interested in it, et cetera. You have to plan more deeply. Mm-hmm. And the closer you can visualize the ending and be realistic, the greater your chances of success. That's sort of the meaning behind it.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. And I think we've almost lost that ability today. I mean, I rarely hear that. And that's why I wanted to pick that one, because I feel like today, and I guess I could see you nodding for anyone who's not watching the podcast right now. I'm seeing Ro. It's the idea. We've lost that today. There's so much of like, oh, well, just try this for a second and try this for a moment and give this a go. And it's almost like when you don't, you're so right. Not only do you not get it done, I feel like the hurdles seem much bigger because you just didn't comprehend them.
Right.
But today when people would argue, and that's what I'm intrigued, I would love to hear your opinion. A lot of people would say, but Robert, if I comprehend them, then I just get disenthused or I feel limited and I just feel like it's overwhelming.
Discouraged.
Discouraged, that's the word I was looking for. Yes, discouraged. I feel so discouraged and overwhelmed and it's too much for me. So how do you think about the end but avoid that feeling? Well, I guess you can't avoid that feeling, but you work through it.
Well, I mean, do you want just the dream? Do you just want the vision of the great thing you're going to achieve, or do you want the reality? Right? And so, if you're going to, let's say you want to write a book. I know that's very lazy of me because that's what I do.
Well, I'm writing my second book right now, so this will be very helpful for me.
Okay.